Oh, it's Halloween. Happy Halloween, everyone. Happy Halloween. Okay, so we've got Halloween going on. We have people who are blocking their millions. It's the last day of the month. November starts tomorrow. There's a whole bunch of shit going on in the world, and we're just staying afloat. Some of us are thriving, some of us are succeeding. It's good. And today I'm talking about you blocking your millions. Like, are you consciously blocking it? Isn't that wild? Some people are blocking their millions, and I'm talking to you as a person who has brought in that amount of money and recognize what I had to do in order to get it. So I wonder if you're doing the same thing, or if you're not doing like the mind work to get it. So as you're watching, say hi. I'm Shani from Toronto, Ontario, Canada. I'm a transformation specialist and a wealth manifestation mentor. I run the Breakthrough Academy, which is a boutique online education company. We serve clients all over the world, help them transform from one state to the next, manifesting whatever it is they desire, quantum leaping their life, subconscious reprogramming, all the good things, so that you can become the person that you need to be to get the stuff that you want to get and live the life that you want to live. And so last night I actually came on and I did a surprise training. So for those of you who are new to me, maybe you're just popping in, I every so often will come on social media and on this platform in particular and train. I'll do a coaching or I'll do a training on something that has to do with elevating you in some form or another. And so last night, the idea of people blocking their millions, it was so prevalent in my mind. It popped up and I'm like, okay, we really need to talk about this, because I see way too often so many people who have the potential to have whatever they want, the potential to like create such a beautiful life, right? And it's just within reach, but they're not doing the thing that they need to do to get it. And part of it is because they're not being who they need to be to get it. And so I wanted to come on and talk about blocking millions. And we had such a great conversation last night. And I understand that the people that I speak to in the evening are not the same people that I speak to in the daytime or wherever it is for you right now. So I feel like this message is warranted. And while I'm on there, I'm preparing for my next masterclass for November that I will let you guys know about soon. But it's going to be a really good 2-day free masterclass. So as you are watching, again, let me know where you're watching from. If you guys have any questions about any of my programs, any of my teachings, anything like that, first things first, go ahead and look at my other posts that are on here. I do a lot of free content. But then secondly, go ahead and click the link in my bio. You can see what I do. You can see how I help you, how I can help you, how I can improve your life, how with obviously your help, we can change your state from one to the next. You tell me what you want and I can help you get it. Okay? So, and even more importantly, tell me who you want to be and I can help you be that. Okay? So, and if you want to book a one-on-one call with me, those are absolutely free. You can go do that through the link in my bio. Again, we can discuss your goals and discuss how my programs and my teachings, usually at 6 months at a time, can help you get there. So, blocking millions. How many of you who are on here have earned at least $1 million at one point in your life? And I don't mean accumulated over your lifetime, because you've all done that over your lifetime, I'm sure. But within a year, how many of you have earned at least $1 million in your life? Well, in the year. Okay? If the answer is not yet, you haven't done it yet, because I don't believe in the finite. It's about yet. If you haven't done it yet, that's okay. Your time will come if you allow it. But if you have made over $1 million in a calendar year, just go ahead and let me know. Have you done $500,000 in a calendar year? Go ahead and let me know in the comments. It's not bragging. It's not, there's no shame whether you have or haven't. It's just to see where you are and to see, to get you into a position so that you have the capacity to hold more. Because sometimes what happens is, we have all these designs to earn some more money, right? To create like a different lifestyle for ourselves. And we really, really want it, but we haven't figured out how to make it happen. So if you haven't done at least $500 to $1 million in a year, that's totally fine. And I want you to understand the reason why. What I've learned in doing this work and coaching people to massive amounts of wealth and success is that a lot of people, they want it, they love the idea of having it, but they don't want to do the work to get it. And I don't mean like physical labor or spending extra amounts of hours doing certain things, you know, spending all of your time outside of your home or at another job. I don't mean that at all. What I mean is there's got to be some internal work with regards to your higher faculties, with regards to your mind and your mindset mastery and your subconscious mind and your nervous system and all of that. And so people talk about, yeah, I would love to have more money. I would love to be a millionaire. I would love to have $400,000 or $500,000 a year. But they're not willing to do the work. And it's not that they're not capable, because you are all capable of making it happen. It's, are you willing to do it? And so when I ask if you're blocking your millions, most of the time, the answer is yes. And what I realized with regards to that is, you know, we have this beautiful thing in our head called a brain, right? And our brain is designed to not look for success. It's not designed to look for success. You'd think, well, that's dumb. Like, it's the brain. It's supposed to help me find what I need. And yes, it is, but it thinks you need something else. Your brain is not designed to help you look for success. Your brain is geared to safety. Your brain wants to keep you safe from harm, from discomfort, from pain. And so any idea that is out of the norm, such as seeking millions, such as seeking a new home, such as seeking better opportunities, whatever it is that you're looking for, seeking new relationships, if it doesn't feel comfortable to you, if it feels too brand new to your brain is going to deviate and keep you back where you are. And that's literally blocking your millions. It's blocking your millions, it's blocking your blessings, it's blocking your progress. And through a few years of work, a few years of research, a few years of experience, I realized this, okay, most people don't get this. And so that's why I come on and I do things like this. I want you to pay attention to it. When's the last time you allowed yourself to dream really big about having something else? Let's say, like those of you who are on right now, I want you to think about this right now. If anything and everything was possible, what would you love? Now allow yourself to think, okay? If anything and everything was possible, what would you love? So what would you love to have? What would you love to be? Where would you love to go? What would you love to do? What would you love to experience? And I want you to really just allow yourself to think about it. If anything and everything was possible, what would I love? And again, everything is possible. You don't have to worry about how it's going to happen. You don't have to worry about when it's going to happen. You just decide right now, what would you love to happen? Would you love to be a millionaire? Would you love to have access to everything? Would you love to go shopping without looking at the price? Would you love to be in a long-term loving, what is the word I'm looking for? Committed, beautiful, passionate relationship? Would you love to travel the world? Would you love to travel first class? Would you love to go do whatever it is that you want to do? You want to go to space? Whatever it is, what would you love? I want you to think about that, because we're not allowing ourselves to dream. We're not allowing ourselves to see outside of what is going on in our face right now. We can probably see, you know what, it's Friday. Woo, it's going to be the weekend. I'm looking forward to that. Hey, Neandra, welcome. We're looking forward to the weekend. And that's as far as some people think. However, that sucks. It sucks. And the reason why it sucks is because you have the capacity to conjure up like the most wonderful, beautiful ideas, wonderful, beautiful situations, and the most wonderful, beautiful opportunities in your mind. You can conjure up anything. You can think it up. You can create whatever it is you want in your mind. And we are so focused on just what's there, that we don't see past, I just want to get to the weekend. I just want to get to the weekend. And if you're thinking about, I just want to get to the weekend, there's no way you're thinking about your millions. There's no way, because our thoughts are limited. What we're looking for in our life, our progress, our future, it's limited. It's limited. And so, again, it's a familiar thing. Your brain recognizes that I can deal with the weekend. Hell, I could even deal with, you know what, Christmas is coming. And then I get 2 weeks off at the end of the year. I can think that far ahead. I can allow myself to experience that. But I can't allow myself to see what it would look like, feel like to have over $1 million, $2 million, $10 million, $100 million. I can't allow myself to see that. And so I reject the notion. I reject the notion because it doesn't feel safe in my body. It doesn't feel comfortable, and it doesn't feel real. And so, are you blocking your millions? Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are. You've got to allow yourself to see it. So back to it again. Your brain is designed to keep you feeling safe. Your brain will not allow you, it doesn't actively seek success unless you train yourself to seek success. It doesn't allow you to seek wealth unless you actively train it to seek wealth. It doesn't allow you to seek opportunities unless you actively train it to seek opportunities. And so are you blocking your millions? Yeah, because oftentimes people are not actively training their mind or their brain to look for things. Now, the brain and the mind are two different things. The brain is like a physical, the mind has no physical attributes to it, okay? And so when I'm thinking about this, and I discuss this with like clients or whatever, that you want a thing. You want to have the freedom, the peace of mind, the relief, the joy of doing whatever it is that you want to do when you choose to do it, right? You want that. Why aren't you doing anything to make it happen? What have you done? What have you actively done to get towards it? And now I don't mean like actions. I mean internally. So I'm not talking about strategy. I'm not talking about getting a new job. I'm not talking about adding hours. I'm not talking about selling this, that, and the other. I'm talking about what are you doing actively within your mind? What are you learning about yourself? You have to learn a lot about yourself in order to call in that large amount of money, okay? And then furthermore, we should probably not call it a large amount of money. We need to break it down so it doesn't seem so big, so that your nervous system will accept it. Because when it feels like it's too big, you're gonna kind of like push it away. You're gonna be like, I'm not gonna get it. It's not gonna happen. It's wishful thinking. It's really, really nice. But it goes along with the same principle of a person who dreams about winning the lottery, and they're like, you know what? If I won 40, 50, $100 million, this is what I would do. And you see it and you feel it and you love it. And you're like, I'm going to go here. I'm going to travel the world. I'm going to go on a food tour, because I'd go on a food tour. I'm going to go on a food tour, and I'm going to have a shopping spree, and I'm going to pay for a kid's tuition, and they can go to whatever school they want. And it's, you know what I mean? I'm going to pay it all in full. Everything I'm gonna pay in full. I'm not doing any like, what do you call that? Klarna or Afterpay or whatever. I'm just taking care of all of the things because I have access to all of this wealth. And because now I have access to all of this wealth, I can see things I never allowed myself to see. You know, I can connect with people I never allowed myself to connect with. I can go to restaurants I've never been to. You know, I'm going to hobnob with the wealthy. I'm going to hobnob with the rich and famous. I'm going to go to Rodeo Drive and like wreck shop and buy up all the shit. Right? And you're dreaming of all that if you won the lottery. And then you go back to your regular days. And you didn't even buy a ticket. So make that make sense. See, we're forgetting. there's something that you want, you still have to do something to get it. So if you're dreaming about winning the lottery, okay, you have to buy a ticket. It's not just going to come to you. You have to buy a ticket. Along the same vein, if you want to bring in millions another way, okay, you have to buy a ticket. Buying the ticket means you invest in your mind. You invest in your soul. You figure out who you need to be to accumulate that amount of wealth. Because the identity that we have is, it has so much to do with the life that we're living. It has almost everything to do with the results that we have. So who do you think you are? And most people don't know who they are. Most people don't know what they believe. Most people don't even realize what they're thinking. Do you know that we think 60 to 70,000 thoughts a day? And of those 60 to 70,000 thoughts, 90% of them are the same thoughts over and over again. And chances are you don't even really realize it because we filter through so many thoughts at a time. Like imagine if you were conscious of those 60 to 70,000 thoughts a day, you'd drive yourself insane. You'd be so overwhelmed, like, but we're actively thinking those thoughts and we're filtering out most of them. The ones that we pay the most attention to are the ones that give us a physical reaction or give us feeling. Usually that has to do with stress, not feeling like enough, feeling unworthy, experiencing doubt or fear, looking for scarcity, looking and validating our limitations, because our brain does not seek success. And so when we're seeking things and we're paying attention to our thoughts, and those thoughts are bringing up feelings within us, and those feelings are negative, and it's causing a dysregulation in our nervous system, how the hell are you going to manifest wealth with a dysregulated nervous system, thoughts that are not allowing you to seek progress and not actively taking any action and working on yourself? So are you blocking your millions, baby? Yes. Yes, you are. And here's the thing, like when you're manifesting for, we'll call it manifesting, when you're manifesting for millions, hell, again, $300,000, $500,000, $700,000 a year, whatever it is. For some people, let's even start at $200,000 a year, okay? When you're manifesting for that, it is so important. It is so very important that you allow yourself to sit with yourself, have some quiet time, and go over any limitation that pops up in your mind. Any limitation that pops up in your mind. So I've been teaching on this recently about abundance and abundance consciousness, or having an abundance mindset, okay? And one thing that I let people know, because people think that you have to go and create abundance, or you have to go find abundance, you've got to search for abundance. Abundance is already there. Abundance is already created. There's not a damn thing you have to do to make abundance show up. Abundance is everywhere. We don't create abundance, but we create our own limitations. We create the limitation that says we cannot access abundance. We cannot have things in abundance. Abundance is more than enough, or having enough. And I love to teach about abundance because when you realize and actively look for the abundance, evidence of abundance in your life, it's all you're going to seek. And you're starting to train your mind, train your brain for something else. It's all you seek. And so look outside and you're going for a walk and the thing on the ground, it's all green. What's that, guys? It's the grass, right? It's not one blanket. It's singular blades of grass. It's in abundance. In abundance. Now it's autumn, so the leaves are falling, but when you look at the trees, all of those leaves on the trees are in abundance. You can't even count them. But aside from that, they're going to fall, and then they're going to have their death period. And then in the springtime, they're going to regenerate. They're going to grow again, because that's the only job of nature, is to grow. The job of nature is to succeed and to grow. Guys, you are a part of nature. Your job is to succeed and to grow. it's always coming back. There was always going to be enough because it's in abundance. I don't know if you drink bottled water or whatever. I drink tap. I don't care. I like it. Okay, I pay for it. I like it. When I come home, if I'm thirsty and I want to fill up my little canteen here with some water, and I want it to be cold. I want it to be super cold. And I turn on the tap and I let that water pour out. It's going shh. It's pouring right out. I'm letting the temperature get cold. I'm touching it. I'm like, okay, this is good. I fill up my cup and I take some sips. I haven't turned off the water yet. Okay? I'm taking some sips. It's so refreshing. I filled the cup. I drank from the cup. I need to refill. Okay? While that's happening, all the water is just pouring out. It's coming from the tap and it's going down the drain. Coming from the tap and going down the drain. Is it going away? No. Will the water stop? No. If I turn off the tap, is the water still available? Yes. Hello, my inspiration. Hi, it's John. John, I was thinking about your name all this time. It was bothering me the last time when I forgot. So hi, John. It's abundant. It's abundant. And so you've got to look for evidence of abundance in everything that you do, in every environment that you're in. Like I just posted something about this maybe a day or so ago. Look, it's called the abundance scan. I think maybe yesterday. And the abundance scan essentially is saying, look at the environment that you're in. Look around the room that you're in and look for evidence of that abundance. And the thing is, you can see it, and sometimes you cannot. Sometimes you can just know it's there. So what's an example of knowing that it's there but not seeing it? That was a clue. There's an abundance of oxygen, abundance of air. There's an abundance of air. It doesn't run out. Unless I'm in a container and it's tied off, that oxygen will run out, but otherwise it's abundant. You open it up, it's still abundant, right? My access to it might be off, but it's still abundant. What else? The number of people that I've walked across that have crossed my path today, whether it was when I was driving my daughter to school or when I was out for a walk. The amount of people that crossed my path today, abundant. They never stopped. Never ever stopped. So you're looking for evidence of abundance in everything. Okay? You're looking for it in everything, and you allow yourself to feel grateful for experiencing abundance. Now, a person who has a scarcity or a lack mindset, they're going to do that same exercise, the abundance scan, and they're going to look for everything that goes wrong. They're going to look for all that they don't have. So, you know what? If I had more money, I could do this. If there was more food, I could do this. If I had more friends, we could go here. If I had more hours at work, I could do this. You know what I mean? They're going to look for everything that they don't have. But they're also going to look for evidence of all the bills that are mounting up, of all the reasons why they don't like where they live, or why they don't like the people that they work with, or why everybody's always a problem and not themselves. They're looking for abundance, and that's an abundance as well. Because abundance is not created, it's already there. And so if you're seeking the beautiful parts of abundance, the things that you're grateful for, you're always going to have more of that because it will never run out. If you are a person who looks through the lens of scarcity and lack and recognizes your limitations in everything, you're going to get that all the time. And then when you're manifesting things, because you assign feeling to your thoughts, and then you have an energetic frequency, what you broadcast to the world, which is your energetic frequency, is what you're going to get back. The outside world mirrors your internal. So however you feel about yourself, your results will give you more of that. So are you blocking your millions? Yes, you are. But you're going to stop that, right? You're going to stop that because you know that you deserve more. You deserve better for yourself. You deserve to allow yourself to experience all of the good and all of the beautiful things that this world has to offer. You are God's highest form of creation. You were created to not just work your ass off or not work and struggle to not have a job, pay just bills, not feel fulfilled, not step into your purpose, not experience love and joy and access and freedom and all the things that you weren't designed to not experience that. You were designed to have it all. You were literally created to have it all. You have dominion over this earth. It's yours. You are not supposed to have a piece of the pie. They always say, you know what, do your stuff, like do your best, work hard, get your piece of the pie. Instead of letting them give you crumbs, go get the piece of the pie. F the piece of the pie. Why do I want a piece? Give me my own damn pie. Get your own damn pie. Hi, Lisa. That's that. See, we are conditioned to look for lack and look for limitations, even in the language where they're trying to tell you to succeed and they're trying to give you success with a little bit, with a little piece of pie. Okay? That's right, Shani. Get your own freaking pie. That's it. Our names are so close to each other. Yeah. So, and it's not even your fault. It's not even your fault. So if you are, thank you, sweetheart, if you are blocking your millions, if you're not allowing it to come through, it's because of a conditioning that's been pressed upon you since birth. The moment you stepped into this world, you were a blank disc. You were open and ready to learn. And the people who were raising you, the people who came around you, your teachers, your siblings, the things you saw on TV, the things you heard on the radio, because if you're an adult, you used to listen to the radio as a child. Okay? All of those things, that was impressed upon your disc, written on your disc, lasered onto your disc. And your disc is your subconscious mind. So that's there. You have everybody's ideas of success, of failure, of worthiness, of value, of love, of relationships. Everybody's ideas, and they're given to you. All of their beliefs. It's a mishmash. And it's no wonder so many people are conflicted because they have conflicting beliefs that have come from different sources and different people at different times. And you're just doing your damnedest to experience life in a way that feels good. And it's not even your fault. You didn't do this to yourself. But whatever happens after we're done with this call is your fault. It's your doing. Because now you know that you have a subconscious mind, and your subconscious mind is filled with beliefs that were given to you. You have to then examine those beliefs and determine whether, well, you have to reveal the beliefs. You have to determine if these beliefs are helpful or harmful. Then you have to decide whether or not you want to keep those beliefs or replace them with new beliefs. When you do that, then you're going to start taking different steps because those new beliefs will belong to a new identity. Because when you change your beliefs, you're not the same person. You're elevating your identity. You're making changes to your identity. You know, Beyonce used to say, let me upgrade you. You are upgrading yourself. And so, first of all, I recommend that you do that at least once a year, like every 6 months to once a year. Examine your beliefs. Do a check-in. A soul's check-in. Do I still believe this to be true? And it's beliefs about everything. Beliefs about money, beliefs about people, beliefs about yourself, beliefs about how the world works, beliefs about the way relationships are, beliefs about your position at your job. Do I still believe that I'm doing the right thing? Am I doing what I need to do, or am I just here because I need to pay my bills? Like, you have to examine all of those beliefs. All of them. Okay? So if we were conditioned and everything Everything that you were taught was to not experience joy, but to prevent you from experiencing pain. It was just to keep you in a state of survival and just to keep you safe, because our parents, all they want to do is keep us safe. And I'm a parent myself. All I wanted to do was keep my daughter safe, until I realized I'm doing her no service, like I'm doing her a disservice by trying to keep her safe all the time. She needs to explore. Go and fall off your bike. Did you die? No. That's my favorite thing to say to her. She hates it. But she says it to her friends now too. Like if someone bumps their foot or someone says something to them and their feelings are temporarily hurt. And she's like, well, did you die? But it's to get you to regulate yourself emotionally, your nervous system, your IQ, your emotional, your EQ, all of that. It's so necessary. What's the first memory you guys have of money? I know for me, or first memory of sayings about money, we didn't grow up with a lot where I was, okay? Most loving family, Caribbean roots. My mother came to this country many years ago and established roots here, okay? She had experienced cancer twice. She was raising us. My dad and her, they split, then he died, and then like all of this stuff, and just life was lifing and life was lifing. And she was doing her damnedest to raise us, as all parents do. But we didn't have, like, it's not that we didn't have what, let me say, my friends had. So I grew up I'm from Toronto, Ontario, Canada. In Canada, we have our version of the projects, our little hood. It's very nice. I went to school in the States and I had my boyfriend at the time. He had come visit me. He had come home with me, and I was like, look, I live in the hood. And he was like, what are you talking about? These townhouses are beautiful. Okay. But so essentially, so I grew up in like government housing. And actually I did. Raleigh 68, thank you. First thing in the morning, it is super healthy for you. And so I was talking about, this is where we grew up, okay? My mom was still able to put us through dance lessons, which was really, really good. And it was expensive at the time, back then, okay? We were doing 2-3 days a week, my sisters and I. And my mom was busting her ass, stressing herself out. We did not have access to a lot of other things. I remember when I had to stop doing dance, right? She couldn't afford it anymore. And if there was something that I wanted, my older sister, well, the middle one, she would just want what she wanted when she wanted it. And she'd like, can I get this? And my mom's like, I can't do it right now. And you could see the pain on her face, that she wants to be able to take care of you, but she can't. She does not have the capacity, income-wise, to do more, okay? And so, like, I was just I'm like her. I was very compassionate. So I'm like, Mommy, can I get this? And she's like, you know what? And she would pause. And I'd say, you know what? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. We can get it next year. No big deal. We can get it next time. At 6, 7, 8 years old. That's one of my earliest memories of money, of rejection, of pain, of not being able to have, but still compassion. Still compassion. And so then we used to hear money doesn't grow on trees, when in fact it does. Money's paper. You know, here it's plastic, so whatever, but money does grow on trees. But that was what we used to hear. Money doesn't grow on trees. You can't always get what you want. It would be nice, but that's not for us. People like us don't make that kind of money. People like us don't have those opportunities. By all accounts, I was supposed to go to a different type of high school instead of the high school that I went to, where it was very affluent, very well-to-do. From anyone who graduated from that university can go, or that high school, could go to any university that they wanted. I wasn't supposed to have that by all accounts, but I did. And so I would see people who, my friend's parents bought her a car so we could go out. She bought the car for the girls. My mother wasn't doing that. She would come and pick me up on the bus, right? From the YMCA at 10 o'clock at night on a Friday night, because we would go and practice our dances because we used to do the talent show circuit. So one friend's parents is buying them cars so that we can drive. And another one is doing her absolute best to show love with limited resources. And so when I tell you I had limited resources, and I had, even though at one point in my life I was really, really rich and then I lost it all and now I've got a lot of money again. The relationship with money is based off of what you learn from other people. And so those people who are raising you, who are really, really close to you, the ones who you really trust, you have their beliefs. You have their beliefs, and you've passed on their beliefs to your own children. So you have to examine, first of all, are the beliefs that they've given you about money, are they useful? Are they relevant in this time now? I don't like how dark this looks. Are they relevant in this time now? That's better. And then ask yourself, and I have my students do this all the time, those beliefs, the people whose beliefs you've adopted, would you trade lives with them? Would you trade lives with them? Do they have all that you want? Are they living a life where you're like, oh, I would love to have that? If the answer is yes, good. Very, very good. Pick out the things that you believe, that they believe, that's helpful. But if the answer is no, then why are you carrying the beliefs that have gotten them to the point that they are, and you wouldn't dare trade lives? If you wouldn't want it for yourself, why are you going to still keep those beliefs? Because those beliefs are blocking your millions, baby. Okay? Does that make sense? Good, good, good. So we've got to examine our beliefs. We've got to figure out who we are as people. So what your identity is. And the easiest way to do that is to just write down a list of who you think you are. And I train on this almost every time I come online. If I were to come up to you and I'd say, hey, I'm Shani. Who are you? Tell me about yourself. What would you say? And I can almost guarantee you, whenever somebody says, tell me about yourself, they're like, hi, well, I'm Shani. I'm a transformation specialist and wealth manifestation mentor. I have a company, or I work for the Breakthrough Academy. I've been working there for, 5, 6 years. Before that, I was in corporate Canada. I'm a mom, a daughter, great relationships. I have my daughter's a teenager. And you know what's really weird? I have the best friends, but they always consider me the strong friend. It's just so interesting. Every time people talk about themselves, they talk about, well, first things first. Did I tell you anything about me? Please comment here. I would love to see something. Did I, in my description of me, did I tell you about me? Yes or no? Just put yes or no. And just for the record, those who are in here, I could see that you're in here, so just put yes or no. Okay? Or put 1 for yes and 2 for no. Yes, okay. So I got 1 yes, I told you about me. Okay. Did I tell you guys about me? Yes and no. Okay. I'm going to give you guys 30 more seconds. Did I tell you about me? I'm Shani. I'm a transformation specialist and a wealth manifestation mentor. I've worked at the Breakthrough Academy for about 5, 6 years. I am a mother, I'm a sister, I'm a daughter, and all of that stuff, blah, 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 blah. Right? Neandra, you are correct. I didn't tell you shit about me. I told you about what I do. I didn't tell you about me as a person. And most of the time, when you're describing yourself, you're at an interview or whatever, just meeting someone, you're on a first date, or you're just in like a new social setting, you're telling people about what you do. And what you do has nothing to do with who you are, unless you make that your personality. And so what happens is we always focus on 3 categories. We talk about our career, so what we do for a living. We talk about our family, right? And then we talk about our connection to society, our social standing. So I told you about my friends and whatever. I told about the roles that I play. Exactly. The roles that I play. It's all an act, right? We're literally playing a role. We are literally playing a role. We are in our own movies, and we are hopefully the star in our own movies, because I know I am, and you should be the star in your own movie as opposed to like a supporting cast member. Most people don't know who they are, and most people don't know how to express themselves in a way that's authentic to who they are. So instead, what I should have said was, hi, my name is Shani, because I am not Shani. I am a person. I have a name, first of all. I am not Shani. I have a name. My name is Shani. Just like I am not Bob. I am not John. I am not table. I have a table, right? I have a name. So my name is Shani. I am confident. I am joyous. I am generous. I am a go-getter. I'm very gregarious. I am, what else? What is about me that I want to talk about today? I am compassionate. I am a lover of all things God and Jesus. I am supportive. I am, at times in business, very cutthroat, but I'm very direct and I'm very fair. Like, I'm telling you about my qualities. Sometimes I can be lazy. I'm working on that. I've been working on that for a while. I'm less lazy than I used to be. Hi, Dodgy.com. I love your name. It's so cool. So what you got to do is you got to figure out who you are. So you get a piece of paper and you're going to write down all your qualities and all your characteristics. Okay? It's not that you have confidence, it's that you are confident. Confidence is an identity. Okay? If you don't feel like you are ever confident, you know what? No, I'm going to come back to that later because I could side note here. So you're going to write down all your qualities, all the good ones and all the not so good ones. Okay? You have to determine, you have to decide what you love about yourself and what it is that you don't love about yourself, not your physical attributes or anything like that, about the way you are. What you love and what you don't love about the way you are. So you can write a list of all the things that you consider valuable and all the things that you consider invaluable. Are you lazy? Are you judgmental? Are you neglectful? Are you unkind? Are you, do you blame people? Are you, what's a invaluable trait to have? Are you are you antisocial? That's what I want to say. So you have to look off into the sunset to remember. Are you antisocial as a personality? I don't mean, are you an introvert? Because nothing's wrong with that. That just means you need some alone time to recharge. But are you antisocial as a personality trait? Do you love those things about yourself? Probably not, you know? And then, so you've got your good traits, the traits you consider good, and the traits you consider not so good. And then what you do is now go ahead and look up 2 or 3 people that you admire, okay? Find 2 or 3 people that you admire. You admire whatever it is that they have in them. Something attracts you to them. Also, I'm very magnetic. I pull people in, baby. That's one of my favorites. I pull people in, and people just tell me their stories, and they tell me their problems. And I don't even ask, and they just tell me. And I'm grateful because people find me a safe space. So find those 2 or 3 people that you admire and find the qualities that they have in them or characteristics that you see that they have in them that you would like to emulate or add to your own identity. And you write that down. And it's not that you're copying them as like how they are as a person. You're picking out certain things that you like that they do. You know what? They're magnetic too. They're very charismatic. They show up with good energy. They're energetic. They are a vibe, you know, a good vibe. I want to have that too. And I'm going to tell you something. If you see something in somebody and you're attracted to that thing in them, not like physically attracted, but you're attracted to that thing that's in them, I need you to understand this. It's not that you don't possess it already. It's kind of like you see something and it's awakening something in you. You know when they say like, recognize like, or game, recognize game? It's that. You're recognizing and seeing something that's already in you. You just have had it laying dormant. And so you see it in them and it's awakening it in you and you want to possess it again. You want to express it again. So write those things down and start adding that to the way you show up, the way you express yourself. That's going to be a new part of your personality, a new part of the identity that you possess. Okay? Because we create our own identity. Initially, we don't. Initially, just like the subconscious mind, it's given to us. And we're taking cues from people. And I say this quote all the time, you guys. If you're not new to watching me, you've heard this 1,000 times. I'll continue to say it because it's so true. It's from, I think his name is Calvin Cooley. I always mess up the name, but the quote is this: I'm not who I think I am. I'm not who you think I am, but I am who I think you think I am. So once again, I'm not who I think I am. I'm not who you think I am, but I am who I think you think I am. And that's essentially saying that the identity that we have, the way we're showing up in this world, is based off of how we think other people perceive us. And so we think other people think of us as the strong friend. I keep going back to that because I was a strong friend forever in my friend group until I got tired of being the strong friend in my friend group. So I was assigned that role and I played that part really well. And then at work, are you the one who's always doing the good job? You're the one who's always reliable. You're the one who can get all the reports done. You're not a brown noser, but you're like upper echelon, top of top. You're a high achiever. You know, are you one of those? Or are you the person who just goes to work, you don't talk to people, you just do your job and go? That's fine too. And people expect that of you. They expect that of you because that's what you think they expect of you. So I'm not who I think I am. I'm not who you think I am, but I am who I think you think I am. So just like that game Among Us that our kids used to play, people are walking around as imposters because they're showing up in a way that's not even like authentic to them. They are not expressing themselves the way they want to express themselves. We're not being real. And if we're not being our real self, whenever we try to manifest something for ourselves instead of letting something happen, we're not going to get it in the way that we want it because we're not being who we need to be to get it. We're being somebody else to please other people, okay? And I like to call that an approval addiction. We're seeking approval from others, okay? And we're not getting what we want. And so does that contribute to you blocking your millions? Yeah, it does. It does. So you've got to be really aware of the identity that you're possessing, okay, that you're expressing. You've got to be aware of the beliefs that you have. And then let's just go back to identity again. You now have to decide what it is that you want and who you need to be to get there. So you've got your personality traits. Let's say, since we're talking millions, you want to be a millionaire. Cool. What does a millionaire look like to you? You don't have to answer. This is important though. What does a millionaire look like to you? What do they experience in your mindset, in your purview, in your world? You're creating a millionaire lifestyle. What does that look like? What do they do? Where do they go? How do they shop? What kind of decisions do they make? Do they make closed off decisions, or are they making expansive decisions? Are they always willing to learn, or are they closed off? I tell you, they're always willing to learn, always wanting to learn. Because if you're not growing, you're dying, and learning is growing. So what does that look like to you? And once you have an idea of what you want to experience, then you have to adopt the identity of the person who already has it into you. You have to become the version of that person. And that's the process of embodiment. That's your next step. You have to become it. You have to live it. So yes, you can visualize it, right? Yes, you can see yourself as the person who's got millions and do the whole lottery dream again. But when you're envisioning yourself from the lens of embodiment, this is what I want you to actually picture, okay? Picture you watching yourself on TV. You're watching the millionaire version of you on TV. I don't know what you're doing. I don't know where you are. Maybe you're walking the streets of Greece right now, or Italy. I'm thinking back to my trip. I was in Italy and Greece right now last year. You're picturing that. You're watching the scene unfold, okay? When you're watching it, it's like you looking at the screen. But then the next step is this, and this is where it gets a little weird, but just go with me. I want you to, in your mind's eye, walk to the television, okay? And then jump in. Jump in so that you're not watching the character, letting it unfold. You are the character letting it unfold. You are now on the screen. And everything that you're doing on the screen is from that version of you who already has your millions. That's what it means to embody it. So you have become that person. You are method acting. You have created a role. You have studied your lines. You're showing up every day as that person. You're speaking as that person would. You have the beliefs that person would have. You're creating the actions that person would create. And you're, did I say thinking? Thinking the thoughts that they would think. That is the embodiment process. And you have to do that every day. Every day. I went from foreclosure to over $1 million in less than a year. Because I found out that I had a shitty identity. So bad. Because I'd gone into foreclosure 3 times. So clearly there was a problem with how I viewed myself. And turns out I thought I was unworthy. I thought that I was unlucky. I thought I was not desirable. I thought all these things of me. I created my limitation. And then I acted from that limited state. So everything that I did, even though it was on the outside, I was projecting that I'm good, I'm the shit and whatever, it was a wreck inside. I had no self-esteem. None. Just esteem. Not even self. None. I had none of it. Confidence, I experienced highs and lows with confidence. There were times where I was confident in a thing, like I did something and I was like, oh, that was really good and I feel confident. But otherwise I would walk in a room and I was really quiet and I would try to fade into the background, which is wild because I'm 5'10.5". I wear 4-inch heels and I'm the first person you see when I walk in a room. But I would try to shrink myself because I felt inadequate. And so everything that I was doing was from the feeling of being inadequate and feeling unworthy and feeling like I don't belong here. And so my results showed me just that. So is it a wonder that I went into foreclosure 3 times over a period of 12 years? Of course not. I would learn the lesson. I would make good money. I would be very generous and I would give. Or I was overspending and I would fall back because I'm like, you know what, I'm doing well right now. And then the money would run out. And then I'd have to hustle and try to get momentum again. that in itself was stressful. That in itself is stressful, to keep starting over and over and over again when you could just keep going. So when I tell you I was in foreclosure, and then less than a year, that same year, I was able to amass over $1 million. I took a course. Thank you, Murray. Thank you, sweetheart. I took a course. I had to take a course. So I found this man named Bob Proctor. Rest in peace, he is no longer with us. Bob Proctor was this amazing man who actually lived down the street from me. He taught all things mindset mastery, how to understand yourself. But he taught it from he taught it in a particular way. He was this beautiful 80 something year old white man from Ontario, Canada. Okay? Did we relate to each other? In some ways. Most ways we didn't. But I understood how he was speaking. I understood the things that he was saying, and I recognized that I needed to hear him out and I needed to learn from him, because what I was doing wasn't working. And he used to say, if your way isn't working, why don't you try mine? So I was like, God damn it, I'll try yours, because I need to try something, because this is not working. I cannot have no place to live. You can't. And nobody, mind you, nobody in my world knew what was going on, because I was a strong friend. And Shani's got her shit together. And so, clearly not. Clearly not. And so, when I got the notification of going into foreclosure again, I was like, okay, cool. I need to do something different. And around that time, it was like the pandemic time. And he was showing his paradigm shift program. It was free. He let us all watch it for free. I was like, great. It's 3 days of learning. I'm just going to sit there and I'm going to learn. Before that even happened, I said to myself, I even prayed. I was like, God, I need to know something. Because I see that you want me to learn a lesson, but I'm missing it. Clearly, I'm missing it. There's something I'm supposed to know. I don't know what it is, and I don't know who's supposed to teach me, but I am willing to learn, because I cannot live this way anymore. I do not want to live this way anymore. Right? It was a lot. Yeah. I did not want to live this way anymore. And if I did not change, I would be doing this for the rest of my life. And then I would be teaching my daughter that this is the way life is supposed to be. I refused. So I said, just give me something. And you know when they say when the student is ready, the teacher will appear? That's exactly what happened. And so I'd see him on social media and whatever, and I was like, okay, boom, this seems cool. I'm going to go with it. So I went and I did his 3-day paradigm shift course. It was free. I'm like, let's go. You're going to give me some free learning? And I'd heard of him, but never done anything with him before. And I was like, okay. And I could already see myself or feel myself making some changes, because I was fully immersed in this. And then I was like, okay, well, I'm not going to make significant changes after 3 days. That's just not going to do anything, you know? Hi. How's it going, Ray? So I was like, okay, cool. I've got to do something. And I found out he had a program, and it was a 6-month program. And I'm like, okay, in the 6-month program, it's going to help me to reprogram my subconscious mind and help me figure out why I'm doing what I'm doing so that I can stop doing it. I collapsed that course from 6 months into 3 months because I was going to lose my home and I needed to figure things out. I actually was a very quick study, and he asks you to come up with a goal. So my goal at the time was I wanted to be free and clear in my home. And so free and clear to me meant mortgage-free, debt-free. So consumer debt and mortgage-free. At this point, I don't have to pay back my arrears. I need to pay back the whole mortgage because they're like, F it. We want our money back. You're an unreliable source. And I was then. And so I'm like, okay, great. I have to figure out how to earn the money to pay off the mortgage, or else I'm going to have to sell the house. And I wanted to sell it myself so that they didn't just accept whatever it is and I don't get from my equity. No way. So anyways, I'm like, okay, I did this course. I'm studying. I had to borrow $8,000. I borrowed $8,000 US from someone so that I could take this course. Now, most people say, well, what? You're in foreclosure, girl. Put the money towards the arrears. And I could have done that. I could have. But if I put that money towards the arrears, I'd still be the same person who's in arrears, and I'd still have to pay shit back. So no, I put that money towards the course, and I took the course. But during that time, I received a $5,000 anonymous check. I don't know where it came from to this day. It was mailed to me like a money order check to cash Shani Leatham. I cashed that bitch. I sure did. And I sent it to the mortgage company. I said, listen, let this be a good faith payment. And I asked them for an extension. And so the 90 days increased. So I was like, whoo, hallelujah, hallelujah. I cashed that bitch, let me tell you, real quick. But I'll tell you this, I took a picture of it. I took a picture of that because I was like, ooh, I'm putting $5,000 in my account in one shot. I don't do that. I haven't done that in years. So I'm putting it and I look at it. I would look at it all the time. And I would imagine that there was another zero behind it. So it's $50,000 in my account. Ooh. And while I'm doing that, I'm still learning all the principles of mindset mastery, and I'm learning about visualization, and I'm learning about living from the end. And I'm learning about all of these things, and some things that I did on my own that wasn't even taught. I was incorporating this had to be godly intervention, because I didn't come up with it on my own, or else I hopefully should have come up with it years before. And so I was embodying the work. I was doing the thing. I was like, I'm a freaking boss. I'm amazing. So I wanted to be free and clear, but I also wanted to have millions. I wanted to be a millionaire. And I wanted to be a millionaire not so that I didn't have the experience of what I was feeling anymore, not so that I could escape the feeling of stress, but I wanted to have it so I could experience access and experience peace. Remember at the beginning, I told you, our brain does not actively seek success. It seeks safety. I was looking for success, and I was looking for elevation and growth. I was actively looking for that. Then I realized, okay, wait a minute, I'm a little different, because people do the opposite. So now I want to be a millionaire, and I want to be free and clear in my home. I'm getting a $5,000 check. And I have no evidence that I'm a millionaire, and I have no evidence that I have no bills on my home. Okay? And I get this $5,000 check. I'm like, okay, you know what? Something's going on. Universe is hearing me through God. You're hearing me. Bring it on, baby. I'm grateful. I'm open to receiving more. I am open to this level of wealth and more. I could tell you what I'm going to do with it. I could tell you how I shop. I could tell you about the decisions that I make, all of that. I could tell you about who I was, because I was a new person now. I was a new person living that life, but from a different lens. I would envision myself driving a car. Okay, so I would envision myself driving this car. Yes, open to receive. It's big. And I would picture myself, it would either be a Mercedes or a Range Rover, whatever. Like I could see it. And I would be on the bus. I'm on the damn bus, and I'm in my G-Wagon or whatever the hell it was. It's probably an M class, but a Range Rover for sure. That's what it was. Not a Sport. The big body with the when you turn it on. I saw it. I was driving it. I was living it. I was the millionaire. You could not convince me otherwise. And so then I started doing things differently. And while I was in this program, I started my own company to teach material similar to what they were teaching. I was like, I could teach this, but I could teach it with my sauce. Because not everybody has my flavor, and people try to copy, but it's not going to have the same flavor as my sauce. You know, and I didn't want to be like him, like them, like their company. They weren't teaching embodiment. I was embodying it and I was living it. And before the foreclosure was up, I received in the mail 2 letters. Now, these 2 letters basically told me that you have enough money to pay your mortgage. Because over 20 years ago, my very first job when I came home from university, I worked for a bank company, a finance company, and they allowed you to purchase shares in their company. And so this was my first job. I had no responsibilities except maybe buying like groceries for home if I wanted to, and I wanted to. So I was buying up the shares because I also found out that they will match whatever you buy. So I'm like, I'm going to buy up all of this. Anyways, it ended up, those 2 letters, 2 things let me know that I had about $100,000. What do I want to do with it? I was like, I'm going to cash that bitch. Cash that bitch. Cashed it. Let me get it. Run me my money. And I paid off the mortgage. The Andrew girl, I was like, let's go. Cash it. And when it went into my account, you know I took a screenshot, right? Show me the money. I screenshotted that. And till this day, I look at it. Now, I look at it, but I had pictured more zeros behind. Oh, someone's coming home from school. More zeros behind. Now, that $100,000, that's a regular in the account now. Come on in, baby. Hey. Hi. That's a regular in the account now. But I took it, I paid it off, and what was my goal, guys? Free and clear. And what happened? Free and clear. The second one was the millions, right? I started a company. Took off. What do you know? Within it was about 9.5 months, I reached that goal. But I had identified as the person who had it, and then I was doing things differently. It wasn't strategy, I was different. I was allowing things to happen. I wasn't constantly checking up on it. I wasn't like planting a seed, pouring the water, and then going back to see if it was growing. Are you there yet? Are you fruitful? No, I wasn't doing any of that. Not at all. I was just being the person who had it, and then I was living as that person. 100% changing from the inside. Every decision that I made was from the version of the person who was the millionaire and free and clear. I was already free and clear, so now I need to be a millionaire. So I did. I paid that $8,000 back real quick. Then I invested a considerable amount in more training for myself because I wanted to learn more about me. I wanted to be so good at knowing who I am or who I was then, that I could take that and incorporate it in my business so I could help other people grow and help other people receive their quantum leaps and help other people change the way they show up in this world, the way they express themselves. I'm letting you guys know now, the best coaches have coaches. I have C-suite executives that get training from me. And when we train one-on-one, I look like this in my sweats, right? Because they want to be a peak performer so that they can be good at the top level of the company that they're working at, so that they can provide for all the people that are that report into them, that they feel responsible for. I still get coaching and training, and I'm doing very well. And I will continue to get coaching and training, and because of this, remember I said this to you, if you're not growing, you're dying. And the one thing I make sure that I refuse to do is to wait. I do not wait. If the idea comes in my head, I hop on it. I actually got that from my sister, but she used to do that for shopping. Oh, I love this. I'm going to get it. And before the conversation is done, us messaging, because she would show me a picture of it, it was paid for by her. I was like, you make the decision and you just go for it? Wow. If only. And so when I make a decision, I just go for it. That's it. I just go for it. Earlier in the year, I had invested over $100,000 into myself, into learning, to get one-on-one coaching. So if I'm earning like 7 figures, I need to learn from somebody who's making 8, 9, and 10. So I'm not going to learn from somebody who's doing what I'm doing. I haven't done 9 or 10 yet. So I need to learn from a person who's doing 9 or 10. So I get my coaching. If you haven't done 6 or 7 figures yet, then you got to learn from somebody who does. What kind of mindset do you have to have? You have to become a master at yourself, an expert on yourself. You need to make sure that your soul is completely prosperous. I focus on that in my programs. It's what I teach. I have a program called Unlimited. It's 6 months long. It's a self-study course and a group coaching program. The self-study course has 15 courses, 15 lessons, that recorded lessons, and you have a workbook. You sit and you work and you express yourself. You learn, you do the changes. We talk about the belief and all of the stuff that I talked about earlier. You examine everything. And then we have our weekly calls, live lesson with me. And then you have an embodiment lesson, it's either with myself or someone who's on my team. And that's for 6 months. Imagine 6 months of embodiment. Showing up as you, the version of you who has what you desire. There's no way you cannot get it. There's no way. Unless you just learn the information and not embody it, there's no way. And because it's 6 months, you're literally collapsing time. Collapsing time to get what you want faster than if you were to do this on your own. Is this something you could probably do on your own? Yeah. Will it take you about 5 years to make that change? Probably. Does it make sense to do it with somebody who's experienced it already, who can coach you, who can tell you what works and what doesn't? Absolutely. There's some stuff that I learned from the program that I took. I was like, this is useless information. This was just fluff for extra time. We could have cut this program down, take $1,000 off. But, sometimes they just got to throw shit in there. Cut out all the fluff. What's the point in doing stuff that doesn't make sense? It's not going to help you. It's just information. Go read a book. Go on YouTube. I teach from what I know to be true. And then I'm in a mastermind. So I'm in a millionaires mastermind group. There's a handful of millionaires and 2 billionaires in there. And we convene every month, and we learn from each other. I had to pay to be a part of this group. I had to prove that I had the income to be a part of this group and that I had the earnings to be a part of this group. And it's so cool because honestly, guys, billionaires don't think like regular people. They don't. I thought I was like, I'm doing okay, I'm doing all right, I'm doing well. And then they come in with like all these extra zeros behind, and then the way they think. And I incorporate that in my lessons in Unlimited. Imagine having access to the thoughts of multiple millionaires and 2 billionaires. And these are guys who are compassionate and generous and they're kind and they give of their time, they are still volunteering their time. These are the ones who are so good. They give so much. They give so much money away. So much money away. They dispel the notion of people who have a lot of money, they're assholes. They didn't do good things to get it. Man. They do great things. And then they do great things for people. Because I don't want to be a part of a group that my values don't match yours. You know? And so you get that. You get access to that. You get, you learn about, we reprogram your subconscious mind so that, again, you can become the person who has what you need. You address nervous system dysregulation. You learn how to regulate your nervous system so you can manifest whatever you want. You walk in abundance. You learn about prosperity, your soul's prosperity. I talked about that. Your soul's prosperity to me encompasses your career, your identity, your purpose, your health, your finances, and your peace of mind. Making sure all of those are aligned. Because you can have a lot of money and have no friends and what? Or if you have good friends and you have no money, right? It's great. You guys can hang out. That's cool. But what happens when, you guys want to do things? Even just go outside and get freaking McDonald's. I don't support McDonald's. Forget it. I don't know what fast food restaurants. Chick-fil-A. Do we support that? I don't know. If you can't even do that, you can't go out for coffee. Dunkin' Donuts or Tim Hortons if you're in Canada. Money makes things easier. And what happens if you don't have the money that you need and then an emergency pops up? And it's really an emergency because Starbucks, yeah. I don't support Starbucks either. But yeah, I have so many Starbucks gift cards. I won't use them. That's another story for another time, babes. But you have that. And you've got this emergency that pops up and you're stressed because you can't take care of a $300 emergency, a $500 emergency. Your water heater went out. I don't know how much a water heater is. $1,000, $2,000, $7,000. So we make sure that your soul is prosperous in all facets. You learn about becoming a living legacy, not just leaving a legacy behind. I want you to be a living legacy. I want you to teach what you've learned to the people who are important to you, so that we're creating a community of people who are doing well all over the world. That's what you get from Unlimited. You get access to my Wealth Identity Masterclass. So what is the identity of a person who is really wealthy like? Because remember, identity is everything. You get access to that. It's so beautifully done. So beautifully done. And the program is only $6,000. That's wild to me. And I for sure will be increasing the price in the new year. Yeah. $6,000 for paid in full. Or if you do the payment plan, it's $8,000. It works out to about $1333 over the month, for 6 months. You do what feels good to you, whatever's in your capacity. But most of the people that I work with, they are able to take their minds and put themselves as a version of the person who already has it, and they do the paid in full. Now, sometimes they can't, and that's fine too. I'm not trying to price people out. This information, this material, this embodiment, it's valuable. So if you need to do the paid in full, a person might start with, not paid in full, if you need to do the payment plan, you might start with the payment plan, and then all of a sudden you got the rest of the money and say, you know what, I'm going to switch over to the paid in full. And then you cut down that two extra $1,000, but it's got to be within a certain amount of time. It's all about increasing your capacity as well. Your brain does not seek success. This is a program for your success, to show you how unlimited you are. We get rid of the limitations. We get rid of the scarcity and the lack and the feelings of unworthiness and the doubts and all of that. And yes, you still have obstacles. And yes, you still have problems in your life. And yes, fears will come up, but you'll be able to respond instead of react to it. How to deal with fight, flight, or freeze. Oh, all of that's in there. You learn about the science of manifestation, as well as the faith aspect of it. You learn the science of the brain and how the subconscious mind works, as well as the conscious mind, so that everything that you do is deliberate, it's intentional, so that you can have, be, and do what you want. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. It's so good. Like I made a hell of a program, I'll tell you that. A hell of a program. I have some great success stories. And they keep coming in. They keep coming in. Happy Halloween. Happy, you know? And I'll tell you this, tomorrow's the 1st of the month. We have 61 days left in this year. Okay? Whether or not you choose to work with me, totally fine. Like, totally fine. But now that you know that if you haven't earned like $500,000 to $1 million in a year yet, and I keep saying yet, now that you know that there are things that you need to know about yourself so that you can get to that point, if you choose to do nothing, you're essentially saying, I don't want it. If you choose not to learn something about yourself, you are intentionally saying, I don't want to manifest that. No thanks. And you can tell me till you're blue in the face, no, that's not what I mean. I just need time. No, you don't. You're just allowing your brain to keep you in safety and to keep you out of discomfort because it's unknown. It's unknown territory for you. Right? It's unknown. Everything is unknown until it becomes known. Everything that was great and created in this world, nobody knew what to do. But I'll tell you this, everything was already created. Like everything, all the resources were already there. This phone that you're sitting on watching this video with, all the resources were already there. Everything was already created for us. We just have to use our minds. I don't know why I did this. You use our minds to come up with a way to make it happen. Your mind is your greatest tool. I tell people all the time when I was doing a podcast the other day, and it was a beautiful podcast. And they were asking about what's my greatest business tool. My greatest business tool is my imagination. It's my mind. Because that's where all of the creation comes from. Your imagination is a place where you co-create with God. You think about it. Sometimes you have an idea and you're like, where did that idea come from? I never would have thought of that. Hello, it was downloaded into you. It was given to you for a reason. You're supposed to pursue it. And you're like, oh, that's a good idea. And then you do nothing. You do nothing. Right, Jennifer? That's so right. You do nothing about it. And then you say you want a thing, you're just going to keep wanting and wanting and wanting and wanting and never having. It's the last day of the month. And some of you are going to wait until the first of the month to make a decision. Some of you are going to wait until the first of the month to start something new. Why? Why? What's this affinity that we have with time? With dates? Time can be collapsed. What is something that you want to experience within the next 6 months to 12 months? What is it that you really want to experience within the next 6 months to 12 months? You can have it. You can have it. But then you're going to tell yourself, I have to do research. I'm not ready. My plate's already full. I'm too busy. I've got to ask my spouse. I've got kids. not enough time in the day. I don't have enough money. I don't have this. I don't have that. We are living for our limitations. We fight for our limitations. We fight for them. Procrastination can be really subtle. That's a word right there. Let the church say amen. And procrastination is the cousin of fear. Totally convinced of that. We fight. We fight to be oppressed, man. And then we say we don't want to be oppressed. And we're fighting for our limitations. We're fighting to stay oppressed by our own self-imposed limitations. We came up with the idea of why we cannot do a thing. I'm not smart enough. I'm not pretty enough. I'm the wrong culture. I'm the wrong race. I don't have enough money. I'm not educated enough. I don't know enough about this. What? All you need to know is this. Are you able? And I teach this to elementary school children. Grade 1, grade 2, grade 3, up to grade 8. When they say, can I go to the bathroom? And I say, well, can you? And they're like, well, can I? I'm like, well, can you? And they say, yes, I can. I said, why can you? Because can is my ability. So when you say you can do this or you can't do this, it's literally your ability. The question is, will you do it? So are you able? Of course you're able. But are you willing? That's the key. How many of you are willing to see change in your life the way you want it? Because you don't have to accept that this is all there is. As beautiful as it is, this is not all there is. You are made for more. You are grateful for what you have, but not satisfied. You are made for more. Why are you going to wait until tomorrow to begin? For what? For why? As my daughter would say, for why? What would you do that for? Now, one thing that you can do that's completely free, that doesn't got zero pressure, that's not going to disrupt your life in any way, is you can go ahead and book a free one-on-one call with me. Click the link in my bio, look for book a one-on-one call with me. We'll talk for about 30 minutes. We'll talk about your goals, what you want your life to look like, how I can help you get there. There are people on this call right here who've had one-on-one calls with me. If you want to share how they went, how you felt afterwards, because I assign you work too. Because it's not just to get you to join my program. It's for us to get to know each other and for us to see if you're committed to learning, committed to your own growth. How bad do you want it? Exactly. And here's the thing, again, our mind does not, I do reply to DMs, yeah. Our brain does not seek success. It seeks safety. It seeks comfort. That's why they say, you know what? I'll just stick with the devil I know. Right? I'll stick with the devil I know. What would you do that for? Because it's what you know? Because it's comfortable? It's familiar? Make it make sense. So there should be, let's see. Oh, I already have one. Booked calls. Go ahead and book a call with me. 30 minutes of your time. And it's free. What do you want your life to look like? What do you want to feel like? How can I help you get there? Or not? What can I direct you towards? I enjoy that. And I'm telling you, these calls, they can be so fun. They can be so fun. You just get to be yourself, and there's somebody who's listening. Neandra says it's so worth it. We've had our one-on-one calls. It's so worth it. It's so, so worth it. And you still walk away from a free call being somebody that you weren't. Getting closer to who you want to be. Getting clarity for what you want. And that's not even including being a part of my program. 6 months. 6 months, I'll tell you this. But yeah, book the call. Book the call. If you don't need to book the call, if you're a person who's like me, who makes a decision really quickly and just wants to enroll, go ahead and enroll. You have the option of what you want. You have the paid in full or you have the payment plan. You can see all the things that are included in there. You can see what's outlined, what the course is outlined in. If you want to see more of the outline, you can send me a message and I will send you a detailed outline. But ooh, it's really good. Do not wait until the new year to start working on you. Don't do it. Do not wait until tomorrow to start working on you. And if you don't have the capacity for those courses, I have a wealth manifestation journal that's $60. I have the wealth identity masterclass that I've priced so that people can get it. It is valued at about $4,000. I'm selling it for $100, maybe 111. Angel number, $111. There's no reason why you're not walking away with something today. Except you don't want it as bad as you say you do. That's all. But I don't want you to be upset about that either, and I don't want you to feel shame about that either, okay? That's not what this is about. There's no judgment. This is you learning about yourself, and you learning about your patterns, and you learning about your habits, and you learning about the way you think. That's it. Now, on a side note, the Toronto Blue Jays are playing tonight in the World Series, and I really hope we win Game 6 because these are my boys in blue, baby. And well, we've got trick-or-treating tonight. I don't actually go trick-or-treating anymore. My daughter's 13. She's going to go with her friends, but we're starting off at her friend's house. The mom is my friend as well. So we all get together and we have our drinks and we hand out candy while the kids are out doing their thing. And then we're going to be watching the game. And they have the food spread is crazy. It's incredible. Incredible. They already know which wine I like. Every year it's the same. Last year I missed it. What sport is that? Baseball, babe. The World Series. It's the Toronto Blue Jays versus the Los Angeles Dodgers. Into tennis and football. My daughter used to play tennis. So our motto in the house for activities is you have to do one art and one sport. And so she initially was going to choose hockey. And I was like, girl, please. Hockey has 7 a.m. games, practices. I don't want to do it. And I was about to press. I'm like, are you sure you want me to do this? And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, are you sure? And she's like, well. And I was like, got him, coach. So we said, okay, fine, let's figure another one. And she said tennis. And so she played tennis for a while. And I think it just became, for her, not as, she's an only child at home. So she was bored because she wanted to connect with other people. She's really, really outgoing and really fun and got this big personality. So I was like, okay, we're going to put you in organized sports. That was her sport. She was doing tennis. Now she plays volleyball. She's really, really good. And then her art was ballet. So ballet for about 10 and a half years. So I like tennis too. I really, really like tennis. And we have our own football league here. The CFL. The rules are a little different than the NFL. I really only watch the NFL when it's the Super Bowl. I like football. I went to university in the US. I've been to college football where stadiums are 50,000 people. I'm like, what the hell is this? This is just for school? We don't have that here. We don't put the emphasis on sports and competition as much in Canada as gets happen in the US. And I was like, what is this? This is incredible. It's fantastic. It's exciting. Pig suey, because I was in Arkansas. Wild. Amazing. But we have our football here. So every once in a while, if I don't see something that's on TV, I'll go ahead and watch some NFL, But I used to like the Chiefs, but I don't like them anymore. And Buffalo is my team because the way we grew up in our household was, since we didn't have the NFL here, my mom's like, which is the closest one? Buffalo is an hour drive away. That's my team. Pig suey. First time I heard of pig suey, I was like, what are you guys doing? What is wrong with you people? Why are you doing that? The US is crazy with some sports like volleyball and basketball. Yeah, absolutely. My daughter's 5'11". People think that she should be playing basketball, but she's a volleyball player. Her father used to play for the Canadian national team. Like, it's in her. She's like, nah, I don't want to. We have some US tournaments. Talking to Neandra about that. She knows all about it. We've got some US tournaments coming up. We'll be going to that. And girls volleyball is starting to blow up. I love it. The competitiveness, it's starting to blow. I just need it to be on TV more. I need to see it on TV more. We're not getting enough coverage. You know, raising competitive girls, so good. I'll tell you this though, competitive sports is so different than competitive dance. If you've seen Dance Moms, it's real. It's real. Wild. Absolutely wild. So, got these competitive girls. They compete in everything. Everything. My daughter used to compete in school with her friends. Yes, Abby Lee. We love Coco Goff around here. She used to compete in school with her friends for who would get the highest grades. I was like, ooh, okay, let's go. Let's go. Find anything to compete. You know what? There was this one boy in her class. He was her fiance when she was 3 and 4 and 5 and 6. And he's very smart and she's very smart. And so the competition was always between the two of them. She's like, oh no, I gotta do well because I gotta beat him. There's no way he's gonna get a higher grade than me. I was like, okay, little girl, at 6 years old, you're thinking that? At 7 years old, you're thinking that? All right. She's like, okay, cool. I'm gonna bring a book to school. Now I'm grade 4. I'm gonna bring a book to school. I'm gonna read Harry Potter. I'm like, okay. So she brings a book to school. Another one brings a book. I'm gonna read Harry Potter too. Oh yeah? She had the whole class reading Harry Potter. They were reading it together. Amazing. Amazing. You find competition in everything. Now she's trying to compete with me. I'm like, beat it, kid. Beat it, kid. I'm so blessed. Anyway, I think this was a good lesson today. If you're blocking your millions, now you know why. If you want to learn how to get to them faster, you should enroll in an unlimited. Are you okay in there?
Yeah, we're good.
You dropped your phone?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. If unlimited is not in your capacity right now, get the journal or get the Wealth Identity Masterclass. Yeah, healthy competition. For sure. So, that's it. Have a great rest of October. We've got a few hours left. It's going to be amazing. And a great start to tomorrow. Whatever you've learned from me today, put it into practice, guys. At least work on creating that list about your identity, the qualities that you love about yourself, the qualities that you don't love about yourself, and qualities that you wish that you employed, that you want to employ into your identity. Start there, okay? Because that's going to help you on your way to getting what you desire and being who you want to be. That's the smallest thing that you can do today. If you choose not to do that, I don't know what else to say. Just don't tell me. Okay? Thank you guys for being on. This was really, really fun. I appreciate you all. And have a wonderful, wonderful weekend, okay? You are all so just cool ass people. And I'm grateful that you spent some time with me. Great stuff. Perfect. Have a good rest of the day, guys. Go Jays, go. Bye.